Good evening. You're watching N1's English language news, Hungary Reports. I'm Marsha Flum. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to partly the Hungarian civil guards, Hungary is one of the safest countries in the world. The Prime Ministerial Commissioner Zsolt Nyitrai recalled that civil guards were involved in the fight against illegal migration. They protected the borders and the security of the Hungarian people. Since 2017, around 1,700 civil guards have assisted the police and military personnel on duty along the southern border of Hungary.
The civil guards of Zalaegerszeg started patrolling after a quick briefing. This time they're monitoring an area where crop theft was very common. We patrol these areas for a preventive reason. We try to step up against crop theft. We know the places and ridges where fruits, peppers and tomatoes are growing at the moment, so we look out for them, Dénes Sándor said. The guards also monitor weekend houses and they regularly check illegal waste disposal sites and ragweed areas. 63,000 civil guards serve in Hungary, 60 of them in Zalaegerszeg, adding up to 9 million hours of work per year. Their number will continue to rise in September, as the National Civil Guard Association will increase the number of guards serving at public spaces, and they will establish a so-called protection network outside the settlements, mainly on the Great Plain and in northern Hungary. This new program aims to prevent unlawful acts. We want to reduce theft committed on fields, vineyards and plowlands with special focus on infringements on property and the security of the people, the president of the National Civil Guard Association said. According to the summary of the Ministry of Interior, the number of crimes has dropped by 50% in the past 7-8 years, to which the work of the civil guards has largely contributed. So did they contribute to the fight against illegal migration. Since 2017 up until today, nearly 1,700 civil guards have helped protect the southern border of Hungary. Not only do they patrol directly near the border fence, but they regularly check nearby settlements and ranches as well. Today, as in our world, the question of public security is the most important issue in Hungary as well. Thanks to partly the civil guards, Hungary is one of the safest countries in the world today, and we're working on preserving this. Civil guards also take part in the fight against illegal migration. Together with the police and the defense forces, they protect our borders and ensure the safety of the Hungarian people, the Prime Minister's Commissioner Zsolt Nyitrai said. He also added that the work of the Hungarian civil guards, who on a voluntary basis guard the safety of the people, is unprecedented and outstanding on an international scale as well.
According to Dutch press reports, one of the young Dutch people arrested with his fellow on the first day of Sziget Festival while selling drugs was a member of the Dutch national running team. The police also found the car of the two alleged drug dealers with drugs worth nearly 310,000 euros inside the vehicle. The two Dutchmen were well prepared. They also had pre-prepared price list with them.
This car was found by the police in the 3rd district of Budapest and it was full of drugs. The vehicle was inspected by police dogs and altogether 17 kilograms of drugs were found in it. The vehicle belongs to the two Dutchmen who were caught by police a week ago on the 0th day of the Sziget Festival. Baggages of the two Dutchmen were searched over and a car key was found. The young men refused to tell where the car was. However, inspectors had already found it on a street in the 3rd district. The district detectives found 4,000 ecstasy pills and around 15 kilograms of marijuana cigarettes wrapped in plastic film when inspecting the car, the head of the communications department said. Altogether, 20,000 doses of drugs worth nearly 310,000 euros were found on the two young men. This is the biggest drug bust ever in the history of the Sziget Festival. According to Dutch press reports, one of the dealers could be a well-known athlete in the Netherlands. This case was a headline at several press organs. According to the press, their lawyer requested their extradition on bail, but it was refused by the Hungarian authorities because of the possession of such significant amount of drugs. The perpetrators could even be sentenced to life imprisonment.
Money of some 190,000 children make savings in baby bonds currently, State Secretary for the Ministry of Finance said in an interview to Daily Magyar Nemzet. András Tállai added that in the first 7 months, the number of the so-called start baby bond accounts with the State Treasury had risen significantly. Those entitled had opened nearly 20,000 new accounts this year. The State Secretary also said that the government expected many to open accounts for their children again in the fall, making 2019 a record year in the history of baby bonds. He emphasized that the various measures affecting families all serve to enable young people to establish their life in Hungary instead of leaving the country if they want to live in good financial conditions. The country is preparing for the 20th of August, one of Hungary's most important national holidays. Rehearsals of some elements of the air and water parade already took place in the capital. On Tuesday, military helicopters and naval vessels exercised on the Danube and in the air. Those interested are awaited with more than 1,000 programs throughout the country. The operative body will be responsible for the safety of the event.
Military helicopters swept by in the air and warships moved through the Danube on Tuesday afternoon in the capital. The elements of the water and air show of the August 20th parade were exercised. The embankment was full of spectators taking photographs and recording the performance. The show of the celebration will best be seen from there next week. It will be almost a one-hour-long parade presenting the new airplanes of the military as well. I haven't seen such a thing in a very long time. The last time I was a little child. There was a water parade that time in the morning hours, and at noon an air show started. I think this is something really serious. I like it a lot, a man said. The plan of fireworks in Budapest is ready by now. The exact scenario has been carefully planned. The pyrotechnicians promised to have a spectacular show with more than 26,000 effects blown into the air from 9 sites, from barges on the Danube, from the Chain Bridge and also from Elizabeth Bridge. The background music was selected from the classics of Ferenc Demjén, Ákos and the Lord. The central location of the celebration will be the capital this year as well. The celebration will start at 8 o'clock in the morning with the hoisting of the national flag and the commissioning of military officers. The parliament can be visited for free during the whole day. The Holy Mass of the celebration will be held in the Basilica, from where the procession of the Holy Right Hand is leaving. The August 20th celebrations will last for 4 days this year. Programs will start on Saturday with the festivals of the folk arts in the Buda Castle, followed by the opening of the Street of Hungarian Flavors in front of the Várkert Bazaar. The gastro-culture of the Carpathian Basin will be represented here. The city of Debrecen was decorated for the celebration as well. Tens of thousands of people are expected to visit the 50th Flower Carnival. More cars than ever will be driving in the parade. Composers are working non-stop in the workhouses. There are only a few days left for them to finish everything. We decorate the surfaces with tiny dried flowers and petals where natural flowers could not be pinned. We make these usually with gluing techniques. We are preparing for placing the leaves on the weekend and decorating with natural flowers on Monday, the flower designer said. More than 500 programs are organized around the country. The operational staff has started work already weeks ago. The public media is preparing for the national celebration with thematic programs and reports from the scene.
The hearing of 2 young children was given back on Tuesday by Hungarian and Polish doctors in Debrecen. This was the first time a small, light and strong implant enabling children to live an active life has been inserted in Hungary. The hearing enhancement implantation program kicked off in 2000 in Debrecen, enabling 20 to 25 surgeries to be performed annually.
A Hungarian and Polish crew of doctors started working at 8 a.m. in Debrecen. The patients were 2 children, a half-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. The 2 children were born deaf, but after the operation, they will be able to hear. It is very important to note about today's operation that we performed bilateral intervention on both children. If we only put in 1 implant, only 80% of the hearing is likely to come back, whereas with 2 implants, that improves to 90%, a Polish professor explained. Implants placed in the skull have helped the everyday lives of the deaf and the hearing impaired for 2 decades now. During the operation performed in Debrecen, the children received high-quality, world-class devices made out of zirconium and titanium. The devices are made of such durable materials that they allow the children to do sports in the future as well. This is the first time such small implants have been used in Hungary. We try to place the implant near the skull and under the skin with as small surgical incision as possible, with the least amount of invasiveness. This surgical technique leaves a smaller surgical footprint, ensures faster healing and fewer complications, a Hungarian professor said. In Hungary, hearing tests are mandatory after a baby is born. The sooner children receive the hearing device, the bigger the chance becomes that they learn to speak. 13% of the Hungarian population is hearing impaired in some way. The Social Security supports the placing of 180-200 implants per year.
The Rákóczi Museum of the Hungarian National Museum in Sárospatak awaits visitors with a special exhibition in honor of the Rákóczi Memorial Year. The exhibition showcases 5 generations of the family and their work. The exhibited pieces are Francis Rákóczi II and his family's original objects, writings and paintings that are originally presented in more than a dozen other museums. The exhibition will be open until October 2020. And an exhibition of works by emerging artists of Generation Y and Z was opened in Lovas, Veszprém County. The Nagy Gyula Gallery displays more than 200 works by nearly 50 artists. The organizers not only help the artists get started in their career, but they want to create opportunities for young art lovers and buyers as well. In addition to the exhibition, those interested can watch art-related films and listen to podium talks until the 20th of August. That's all for now, but we'll be back tomorrow night at around the same time, and you can catch Hungary reports online as well. Please stay tuned for our German, Russian, and Chinese language news. Thanks for watching. Take care. Good night.